Hello and welcome to the Trumped Up Podcast. I am your host, Keith Rao, and this is episode 5, the Demoncrat Possession. We'll get into that in a moment. Remember, you can catch this podcast across a wide variety of podcasting platforms, including our host, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Stitcher, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, and more. You can also follow us on Twitter at Trumped Up Podcast without the T at the end because that's for Trump, and they wouldn't allow that many letters. That's all good. You can follow us on Instagram. You can catch our podcast also on our YouTube page, the Trumped Up Podcast channel. We post it over there for rebroadcast, so you can have an interesting way if you just are on YouTube or whatever. And also go over and like our Facebook page. We're having tremendous growth over there in just a couple weeks. We're growing quickly, as well as this podcast. You can give us a like. You can listen to our podcast there as well. Tuesday of the next week, the podcast will be put up in video form there as well. So let's get into this Demoncrat Possession, as I'm calling it this week. I actually made a typo on a comment, and I'm like, Demoncrat. Actually, that makes sense, so maybe it wasn't a typo. It was just a coincidence. There's no coincidences in life. Everything happens for a reason. So I'm calling it that because, I don't know, these people are possessed or they're losing their minds or something's going on with them. I really don't know. I mean, let's start with last week or 2 weeks ago, we got into the whole Democrat debates and what was going on there, and their crazy off-the-wall policies that'll never work, and they're just talking points, and they're never really going to do what they're saying because it's not possible. But Trump held this 4th of July celebration to celebrate America and our freedom and everything that's going on in the world and how great we are and how much greater we're going to become. There was a parade. They had some tanks out there. They freaked out about that. I guess DC's complaining that their security budget is pretty much wiped out, but that tells you apparently their security budget wasn't very good. If one event depleted this account, maybe you should put more money into this account, so in case you need more security for anything, it's there. But the Democrats were bugging out. I mean, who the hell bugs out and complains about a celebration of America? I mean, they didn't complain about New York doing this. They only complained about it because Donald Trump, it was Trump's celebration. No, it's America's celebration. Trump was the guy that put it on, but they had a problem because it was Donald Trump doing this. If the Gavin Newsom in California did it, nobody would have a problem. If Pelosi or Schumer decided, hey, we should do this, nobody would have a problem. But because Donald Trump does it, and it actually was a great success, they bugged out. And then they tried to, it wasn't as good, there wasn't as much following. And there was tons of people. I think there was more people there than probably for Trump's inauguration, actually, because the silent majority that Trump has spoke about, it's bigger than anyone knows, really. I mean, there's people that are just not going to put their opinion out. You'll get attacked. Trust me, I started this podcast and people are already attacking me saying, he attacked the disabled, he's anti-gay people. It's the same old washed up playbook that these people have been using, I don't know, since the beginning of time, I would imagine. No, at least since the 60s or something. But one, I wouldn't attack disabled people because I have my own disabilities myself, and that's irrelevant, but why would a disabled person attack disabled people? Come on. And if you're gay, you're gay. If you're pansexual, transgender, whatever, that's your choice in life. Or actually, it's not always a choice. This is who people are. I got to be very specific because somebody will attack me because I said it was a choice, not this is just who I am. But it is what it is. Now let's go back to a couple weeks ago with Biden was in these debates and Kamala Harris attacked him on some racial issues. Yep, that old school playbook of the race card. I mean, you fought for equal rights for years, but you're still trying to divide people by race. It really makes no sense, but either Biden's out of touch with things he said in the past, he doesn't remember these things, but he totally wasn't prepared for it, and if he's not prepared for this, what the hell is he going to do with Putin or Kim Jong-un attack him? If he can't handle Kamala Harris in a debate, how the hell is he ever going to handle the world stage? Or like when the UK ambassador attacked Donald Trump, or the memo leaked out that he was attacking Donald Trump. He didn't have the balls to actually say it straight out, but at least I give credit to the people that do have the balls to say it straight out, that they don't like Donald Trump, or they say some off-the-wall thing about him. I mean, they trump up whatever the hell their opinion is, or the charges against Trump. And then let's get into Eric Swalwell, along with Shifty Shift over there, with all their Russian collusion evidence, and nobody's seen. And it's funny they had this, but Robert Mueller didn't have this. But yeah, he was the first victim of dropping out of the race. I mean, they're all going to start dropping like flies eventually. Although you got this Tom Steyer guy who's actually behind a lot of these crazy policies that came out. He's been using his money to out Soros with the off-the-wall policies and spending the money to do these things. But yes, Swalwell couldn't even poll at 1%, I don't think. So he probably knew he had no chance in hell before he ever started, but he was trying to get some attention. But he's going to go back to California, wherever the hell he's congressman, and campaign on his re-election. But hopefully we can take the House back and get rid of these jokers and their craziness. Really, I don't know if they're possessed by demons, they're just sociopaths. Really, Congress should probably somebody should pass a bill that requires all members of the Senate and Congress to actually take a mental health exam, because some of the things and the policies these people come out with is just, it's bonkers. It's unbelievable. It's like, free everything. Free everything. No, nothing's free, man. There's no free lunch. Somebody has to pay for this. And you know who's going to pay for it? The taxpayers. Yeah, because every one of these Democrat candidates' policy is to raise taxes. Who the hell? Okay, if you legalize pot and create a tax for that, okay, nobody's going to complain about that. Actually, that's not true, because in states like Massachusetts, where they actually legalized it and there is a 20% tax, people are complaining and they're still going to the black market because nobody wants to pay $350 for an ounce of pot, which is really odd, because if you go to Oregon, it's like dirt cheap. It's like $8 a gram or something. But in a state like Massachusetts, where it's more new, the price is higher. But as the supply goes up and the demand is what it is, or the demand goes down, then of course the price will go down. It's the old adage of supply and demand. It's always the way it's been in the free world, and it's just an economic thing where it's always been that way. But yeah, even though Kamala, she was over there attacking Biden in that debate, and then she came out with things like about she was listening to Snoop Dogg and this and that, but from what I read on the internet, I don't know if it's true or not, but this music came out after what she was trying to say. Just like when she said she was one of the first children to go into this integrated school district, I seen where it said that she would have been too young for that actually to be reality. And then every time I see her at some campaign event now, it's, there's a predator in the White House. There's a predator in the White House. Is she like trying to make a trailer for some new movie? I mean, yeah, Trump's been accused of some things, but none of them really turned out to be true. Most of them fell to the wayside, like Stormy Daniels, or this new woman who was just trying to sell a book. That's my guess, because if you're releasing a book and suddenly you're making accusations, it's kind of like put two and two together. Like, hey, if I'm going to I'm gonna go accuse somebody of something if I write a book just because maybe I need more book sales, so that I can get on the New York Times bestseller list. But no, even if I wrote a book, they'd never put me on the New York Times bestseller list because they disagree with my views, and that's the way it is. Then this week, Ross Perot died. That's kind of unfortunate. He was battling a 5-month battle with leukemia. He was 89 years old, I believe. Um, they say he screwed up that election for the first Bush's second, his bid for re-election. Yes, he did. He actually got 19% of the popular vote, and that was before the social media age and all this technology we have now where you can reach the masses. So could you imagine if Ross Perot actually if we had all this technology and social media when he ran, he probably would have got 49% the vote, because he was like Donald Trump before Donald Trump. He was the rich businessman. He wanted to change trade deals, which hopefully the Democrats can get those passed, but Trump's making these trade deals, so, the Demoncrats, as I'm calling them, because they're possessed again. I don't know. Something up with them. They're just losing their minds. They're using the same old playbook, which isn't working, which is making them go nuts. Really, they keep saying they keep going left and left and left. No, they're in left field. Like Bernie, after the debates, he really lost ground and other people started gaining. So what's he do? He teams up with AOC again, let's revamp. Let's reintroduce the Green New Deal. The Green New Joke is more like it, because, we were green before green existed. We had water power and things. And then we went to all these other sources that some aren't good for the environment, others are. Like, they say nuclear power is okay, but I really don't think so, because what if something goes wrong? Then you end up with another Chernobyl. Or like when the tsunami hit in Japan over there, and that whatever the town was, I don't remember exactly. But yeah, that place suffered, which, hey, we use hemp, supposedly it can clean us up. I don't know one way or the other, but I wouldn't doubt it. And then you got these people, and they come out with the Medicare for all, free health. Oh, the Newsom guy over there in California we're going to give free health care to illegal immigrants. People, or as they call them, undocumented. No, they're illegal. They broke the law when they came here. There's a difference between legal immigrants, like the one in California I just seen, is a Latino Trump supporter, but he's getting death threats and people out to get him because he's Latino and a Trump supporter in America, actually in California, because if he was in Iowa, people would be on his side probably. But yeah, just stop with that. Stop the attacking and all that craziness, like these anti-fa-la-la people. Really, they're domestic terrorists. That's what they are. They're intimidating people. They're beating people in public. They beat up a journalist. Well, call him a journalist. Don't call him a journalist. Whatever you want to call him. Guy that's reporting the story. I don't care if he's reporting by cell phone, if he's doing a podcast, whatever. But these people are terrorizing people. You can't wear masks in a protest. It's no different than when the KKK wore masks to get their point across and burned crosses and did all this disgusting stuff that should never happen in America. Really. Racism is not acceptable. I don't care. The fact that people are accusing people of racism all the time, that isn't racism. You'd think we're still in 1960, but no, we're in 2019 now. And the country isn't racist like the Democrats are making out. They're not sexist like the Democrats. They're not misogynist like the Democrats. There's no toxic masculinity. Yes, some people are manly men and some people are not. It's okay. If you really are pumped up and you got a lot of testosterone, so be it. It's part of your DNA, I guess. I mean, oh my God, I'm in left field myself at the moment, but hey, we're going to take a quick break and get a message from our sponsor, and we'll be right back. Hey, you too can join the podcasting world and be one of the greatest podcasters out there. Build an audience, get sponsorships, earn money, and do many, many interesting things. You can also get listener support to help sponsor your show, all by using Anchor. Anchor is the easiest way to become a podcaster. Anyone can do it. If you got something to say, or someone thinks you got something to say, or you just want to say something, come and join Anchor and join the podcasting revolution. Okay, and we're back. That's our sponsor, Anchor. That's our hosting platform. And if you want to join the podcasting revolution, go hang out on their website, sign up, and you can do what I do. I'm just a guy who's got a message and a voice that I finally discovered and found a way to get it out there, and they've been nothing but helpful with this. Also, you could support our show with a monthly donation. I also encourage you to go out and send in at the bottom. There you can see it says send voice message. I'd love to do a show where it's all of your opinions. That would be great. I get in and I could give my feedback to what you think, or just the whole show. You can remain anonymous if you'd like. That's wonderful, because we know we don't want you to get attacked on the internet. I really don't care if people attack me. I mean, long before I was a Trump supporter, I'd just say something on the internet and people attacked me, but it is what it is. I don't know, all my life they've taken me wrong, but I don't really give a damn. And if you don't like my opinion, I really don't care. But if you want to debate me, that's one thing. But once the debate goes to you start insulting me, then your point is invalid. But let's get back into the Demoncrat Possession. Episode 5 this week, and these people and their craziness. Oh, then Nike caved again. Nike. Let's fight oppression with Colin Kaepernick over there because of the Betsy Ross flag. The woman created the American flag, but now it's race. No, it's a flag. It symbolizes freedom in all its forms, and the stars were based on the 13 colonies that became 13 states, and that's why it was the circle with the stars that they were using on that pair of sneakers particularly. But this flag is not the symbol of oppression. It's not the symbol of discrimination. It's not the symbol of racism. It's a symbol of patriotism and freedom and what America really stands for. But these people don't get it because they hate America. And like the soccer chick, I forget what her name is, but if you hate America so much, why do you still live in this country? Really, you have the freedom to move somewhere else. Go to Canada, move to Mexico, move to France, Germany. Hey, all these countries have the soccer team. Go play for them. Because the fact that you threw our flag on the ground, and at least another player had the decency to pick it up, which she's getting some props, but I don't know how much props she deserves for that, because it shouldn't have been on the ground in the first place. It's totally disrespectful, but it is what it is. But yeah, so they pull this pair of sneakers, and then all this merchandise, it totally backfired in their face, because all this merchandise, like created by veterans and other people, even our podcast on our Facebook page, we made a shirt with the same flag. But ours is mostly to support this podcast so we can keep it going and hopefully get better and get some guests and better things going on. But because Kaepernick, this guy who wasn't getting attention anymore because Smollett took his fire away with all that controversy over there in Chicago, he was getting all the attention, and apparently Kaepernick wasn't getting attention anymore. I think that's a lot of AOC's problem. She was neglected as a child or something. So now she does all these things just to get attention and likes on Facebook and Instagram and whatever. I mean, that's the generation we live in now, where everybody's so about likes and followers, and I got to get everybody to like me. Everybody has to like me. Everybody has to follow me because I'm so important and so vain. And Yeah, Carly Simon said that one for you. You're so vain. You probably think this song is about you. I'll write a comment that has nobody in general to it, and they think it's about them. But yeah, a lot of those pairs of shoes, after they were pulled, they're now selling online for like $2,500 or more. Which, hey, that's the free economy. If you can make $2,500 off a pair of shoes, hey, rock on to that one. And then Pelosi and the Make America White Again. Where is she going with this? Because you're going to ask about people are a citizen. So that somehow translated into, yet again, the race card. Same old playbook. Same old. See, they keep using the same playbook and they don't understand why it's not working. Because people are starting not to buy your crap. That's why they're so, oh, we need to legalize these immigrants that are coming here illegally. We need to take more in. Because the people that are here legally or are already citizens aren't buying this crap anymore. Yeah, some of them tend to watch CNN too much. They buy it. I mean, they don't take 5 minutes out of their day to research, and then they post things like a meme as this is fact. It's a meme. Somebody made it up. I can make a meme and like fool people and all kinds of things. It's like when they tell you some celebrity died, like Ric Flair, and he's totally alive, yo. He didn't die. Yeah, he had some health issue recently. I don't know what that was all about. Nobody really but that's a personal thing, so it's none of our damn business, really, what's going on with Ric Flair. Woo! That's all we care about, Ric Flair and his wrestling career. And, oh yeah, he was in Cumberland Farms commercials. But yeah, from what I can tell, he's up there. But yeah, back to where Make America White Again. It's not about making America white again. It's about, are you a citizen? That's a white citizen, a black citizen, a Latino citizen, Asian citizen, a Native American citizen. Your race is irrelevant in this. We want to know if you're a citizen so we can properly represent districts. Because if you're here illegally, you really don't get representation because you're not a citizen. That's not how the census was intended. It was intended to properly represent districts based on the population of citizens, people who are here legally or immigrated here legally. Then the whole, which takes us to the border again and the kids in cages. But these people don't worry about kids in foster care who are American citizens who suffer unfavorable fates of being beaten sometimes. Some of them have died. Or the kids on the streets of Chicago that have to dodge gunshots every day. Or the children in LA, like where they, yet again, Newsom gives health care to illegal immigrants, but he can't clean up the streets of his city or help the homeless population of American citizens or the children that are on the streets in his community, because they need these people because they need more voters, because people are not voting for them, and they know damn well that they got very little chance of beating Donald Trump in 2020. And they're going to do anything. And they're scared they're going to lose the House again, which let's hope they do. And let's hope we gain a lot more seats in the Senate so we can actually get more things done. You know, the Democrats talk about they're going to pass policies and they're going to do things, and it's all talking points. They don't do anything except obstruct and talk and talk and talk. It's like that old country song, a little less talk and a lot more action. Yes, they really need to get on with it. I mean, there's so many things. Infrastructure, they've been talking about that for a while, but I don't see them putting up any bills for this. If it was a good bill, Donald Trump would sure sign it. I'm sure you could get some Republicans in the Senate to get on board with fixing roads and bridges and airports and things that are beneficial to Americans. Why are we going to spend millions? We're wasting millions of dollars already on these people coming across our border illegally, but we could be spending these millions and billions on actually fixing things that are wrong in our country. I mean, you see sinkholes popping up lately. I mean, gas lines blowing up, which, granted, the gas company's a private company, I get it, but this shouldn't be happening. That just tells you the infrastructure and the gas lines are way out of date and way need to be fixed. And then they're worried about these immigrants, and they said the Democrats say they can fix everything, but just if you believe that, go drink some water in Flint, Michigan. Go ahead. I dare you. I'm not doing it, and you're probably not going to do it. Anybody in their right mind's not going to do it, but it's a little different than the combined. Oh, yeah, it was the drinking out of the toilet water, which was a combined thing. These things are common in jails where it's a toilet with a sink on the back. Yeah, maybe the water is not that great out of the top part where it's a sink, but all these people complaining about this, I don't see them sending a dime. Whereas all the charities that, oh, we care so much about these people, but they're not donating diapers, they're not donating money, they're not donating clothing, they're not going out and doing charitable things that would actually help these people that are coming to our border illegally. And then the kids in the cages and this and that. These people aren't prisoners. They're being detained, but if they said, hey, can you drop me back off in Mexico? I'd like to go on my way. DHS and the Border Patrol and ICE would take them to the border and send them freely on their way because Mexico already said they can come back to their country. They can get work permits there and all kinds of things. But no, they act like the concentration camps. Nobody was trying to climb the fence to get into a concentration camp in the Holocaust. Just wasn't the case. So if it's really a concentration camp, people wouldn't be climbing the fence to get into it, that's for sure. But we got the deportation raids coming up. Supposedly they're going to start Sunday after these things were delayed. I'm all for it. It should have been happening a long time ago. I mean, we got 1 million people that are already supposed to be being deported, and they haven't been. My only problem with that is stop giving these people a heads up. You're telling them on Sunday, so they're going to go hide out and try to go hide somewhere else than where they would normally be found. I mean, we do raids for all kinds of things, drug raids, we do human trafficking raids, things like that. So if the Democrats really think the deportation raids are cruel or something, or they're rounding up families, these people have already seen a judge. They're already not supposed to be here. I hope they also go round up the ones that overstayed their visas and either fix the visa problem or send them back to where they came from. And then the African migrants were coming. See, these people are coming from far away, some of them, not just South America. We got people coming from Africa, the Middle East, and wherever, straight through South America, up through Central America, and into Mexico. But these people are complaining about our asylum laws. But the reality of that is, if you don't like it, don't come to America. Don't get into the system. Personally, I think if you're going to apply for asylum, you should have to do it from an embassy in your own country instead of at our border. There should be no asylum claim at the border. You should have to go to a consulate, an embassy, apply online, on your cell phone. Because, they say these people are poor, but I see them wearing some really fancy gear sometimes, and they all got cell phones sometimes. And I mean, that's just the media trumping things up. Hence the name of my show, Trumped Up, false accusations, or they're ramping up the charges against somebody so they can get a conviction. They'll somebody assaulted somebody, but then they'll make it 40 charges worse than that. They'll tag on stuff. If you watch, sometimes people deserve, it was something simple, somebody was public intoxication and they were going to get arrested for the night and whatever, but then they start reacting in some erratic way, and then it's assaulting a police officer, it's assault with a dangerous weapon, evading the police, resisting arrest, and then they got 25 charges, so when the guy goes to court, he can plead out, and then he'll get the charge back down to one or two simpler things that probably aren't a felony, which it's just bonkers. And then you got AOC wants, first she wanted to end ICE, now she wants to end the whole DHS, Department of Homeland Security, which I think she missed the fact that these people fight terrorism. That's why it was created in the first place. And I believe the Department of Justice actually falls under Department of Homeland Security, but she said it's not the Department of Justice, but it's all affiliated because they all fall under the Department of Homeland Security. Could you imagine if we got rid of ICE, Border Patrol, and the Department of Homeland Security, and then there was a terrorist attack? Then they'd be like, oh, that's not what we wanted to happen. That's not how it's supposed to be. Oh my God. We just want them to stop doing what they're doing to the immigrants at the border, and la 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 la. Yeah, they flipped the script. Just like the warnings before 9/11, nobody, well, some people listened, but they didn't take them serious enough, and it was what it was. But tune in next week for another exciting episode of the Trumped Up Podcast. Thank you, and have a nice week. Hello.